Born of the Second War, the giant of the land, black, gray, teal, the last of its band. When the armies clash and the night turns red, the Ultrasaurus marches where legends tread. Monster machine, last titan standing, ruler of the field. Make us feel rising from the never years and never yield. Death Saurus for but they can't bring you down. Ultrasaurus, yours is the crown. Last titan standing, ruler of the field. Make us feel rising from the never years and never yield. Death Saurus for but they can't bring you down. Ultrasaurus, yours is the crown. Mass built no more, just one remains, a relic of glory in the burning rains. The backbone of freedom, the flagship of might, guiding the Republic through eternal night. Monster machine, from the central continent, the dark continent shore. The crash of titans shakes the planet's core. In the age of chaos, Ultra still reigns. The Ultrasaurus fights as the world still sings. Monster machine, last titan standing, ruler of the field. Make us feel rising from the never years and never yield. Death Saurus war, but they can't bring you down. Ultrasaurus, yours is the crown. Last titan standing, ruler of the field. Make us feel rising from the never years and never yield. Death Saurus war, but they can't bring you down. Ultrasaurus, yours is the crown. That's built no more, just one marine remains, a relic of glory in the burning rains. Death Saurus roar, but they can't bring you down. Ultrasaurus, yours is the crown. Outlast is the crown. And never yield. Death Saurus war, but they can't bring you down. Ultrasaurus, yours is the crown. That's built no more, just one marine remains, a relic of glory in the burning rains. Death Saurus roar, but they can't bring you down. Ultrasaurus, yours is the crown. Outlast is the crown. And never yield. Death Saurus war, but they can't bring you down. Ultrasaurus, yours is the crown. Last built no more, just one more, just one crown. Last built no more, just one remains, a relic of glory in the burning rains. The backbone of freedom, the flagship of might, guiding the Republic through eternal night. Monster machine. Central continent plains where steel beasts charge and lead blood stains. The Helic Republic holds the line, a shining cause by fate designed. From the shadows of the dark continent, the Gylos rise, malevolent intent with saber teeth and iron fists. The black machines scream through the mists. Mogus crawl and iguans bite, but Guttos roar and join the fight. From ancient wrecks, their war begins. Now only steel and fire wins. Monster machines! It's the war for planet Z, where the brave will live and tyrants die. Zoid to Zoids, sky and land, Republic steel makes its stand. Cheerleaders clash, timber tigers scream, salamanders scorch the dream. Godulus rises through smoke and flame, and iron comes fall to shame. It's the war for planet Z, where the brave will live and tyrants die. Zoid to Zoids, sky and land, Republic steel makes its stand. Cheerleaders clash, Shiver tigers scream, salamanders scorch the dream. Godzilla rises through smoke and flame, and iron comes fall to shame. Mogas swarm like worms of war, but laser jaws even every score. Red horns stomp with ruthless pride, but Godzilla sweeps them eye to eye. Through jungles thick and burning skies, the shieldliggers run where valor flies. Against the saber tiger lies, and the claws strike true, Republic never dies. Monster machines, the Nibus bones, they fuel the dark, but freedom burns with a righteous spark. Old empires rise, but never last. Helix stands, the die is cast. Monster machines! It's the war for planet Z. Let the tyrants hear our battle cry. From godlike beast to raptor speed, we fight for honor, not for greed. Sky turns red, steel gods fall, but the Helic heart outlast them all. Raise your fist and scream with pride, the Zoids of freedom will not hide. The war for planet Z. Let the tyrants hear our battle cry. Lion chains and Redhorn Rex rust in the rains. Shieldlingers walk the fields they won, and Z turns slowly toward the sun. This is our world, this is our fight. Zoids of Helic burn through the night. For planet Z we rise, we fall, but freedom stands above them all.
Metallic giants rise from lion grounds. Blue guardians down the heart. Lights and fury in the sky.